Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and the time is finally here. We waited far too long for this hero to finally get implemented into competitive, and the time is now. Thick Boy Bob is making his introduction into Season 13! So you might not have heard the news, but Ashe is finally in competitive. You can now play her in your bronze level all the way to Grandmaster, and we all know no matter what rank you're at, there's gonna be an Ashe in your game. Someone is going to be playing Ashe, whether they're good or not, and whether you like it or not, somebody's gonna pick them. So what's the best option there? Get scared and freak out at the Ashe play like, oh my god, you don't have enough hours on Ashe, get off Ashe, what are you doing, what are you throwing? And they're not even in game chat so they can't even hear, and you already brought down the morale of your team. Or the second option, what I try and encourage everyone to do, is to work with the Ashe. Try to make everybody better. That's what you should do in competitive all the time, but especially now when Ashe is going to be a very popular pick. Again, whether people are good with her or not, she's going to be picked. So that's why I'm making this exact video right here, telling you guys what heroes that you should be playing to help support the Ashe. Make her feel like she's the greatest DPS of all time. Now, while yes, there probably will be another DPS that you should also try to consider, or 5 as we've recently seen, Ashe, like I said, is going to be a picked hero, and whether they're going to be good with her or not, more than likely they're not going to be full-on masters. But if you show support, if you help her out, one, your main DPS is not going to die, because she is going to be the main DPS of your team. And if she's not dying, and if she's possibly going to be getting a lot of kills, then you just helped out the situation, rather than complaining and making the situation even more harder. So finally, now that we got that long intro out of the way, let's look at the heroes. We're going to be looking at 2 healers, 2 tanks, and 1 DPS to once again further enhance Ashe. Now luckily for Ashe, she's not this needy DPS hero, unlike heroes like a Fair or whatnot. She needs a Mercy or a Zenyatta to make her be better or to live, but to also give off DPS. If you disagree with me in saying that, oh, Fair doesn't need those healers, I'm not saying she desperately needs them, but she's going to be supported if she does have those healers. Same thing with Ashe. She's not this desperate, needy hero, but if you play these heroes, she'll definitely thank you for it. And one of the first heroes that I absolutely love to have on my team is going to be everyone's favorite Omnic, Zenyatta. All because, well, not all because, but mainly because of the Discord orb. Ashe shreds through heroes and she shreds through tanks. But when there's a Discord on a tank like a Winston, a Roadhog, or a Zarya, Ashe is going to give so many pop shots already without the Discord orb and shred through them. But if you add the Discord orb to it, oh my god, all those tanks are going to die. Plus, on top of that, if you throw it on a squishy and she gets maybe a few body shots, she doesn't need that additional headshot to get the kill, all because of, well, how the Discord orb works. But when playing Zenyatta, obviously you have the Discord orb, but you also have that Harmony orb. And at least the way that I play Ashe is as far away as possible so that I can get protection, but I can still give off decent amount of damage. So that means a Mercy or a Moira is going to constantly have to go to that Ashe, or possibly not even be able to reach her. But if you have that Harmony orb, you can just simply turn around, throw the Harmony orb over there, turn back around, and continue just to do your thing with Zenyatta. So that's why I really like a Zenyatta, is that you're getting the most out of the hero Zenyatta, and you're both kind of helping each other out. But obviously that's not to say that you can't play a Lucio or a Brigitte, because obviously Brigitte is still meta, so if you have a Brigitte instead of Zenyatta, it's not the end of the world. Just, again, this is the perfect Ashe composition in my eyes, and I don't have the perfect eyes, obviously, because I wear contacts, but I would just love a Zenyatta if I'm playing Ashe. But another healer that can definitely benefit Ashe that isn't as needed when compared to Zenyatta, even though Zenyatta isn't even desperately needed, is gonna be Honest. So there's a few reasons why. The first reason, I quickly mentioned it with Zenyatta and how Ashe is gonna be playing farther away and you need that long range heals. Well, especially with Ana, that's what her niche is. She's giving long range heals to heroes that are gonna be farther away. A Genji in the front lines or an Ashe in the back lines. So if Ashe, for whatever reason, needs heals, you can turn around, boom, give him quick heals, and then move on with your day. Also, the anti-grenade is great too. I mean, this benefits any DPS because that can be the hero that you focus on, especially if it's like a Lucio or a Roadhog or something. Ashe is gonna shred through those heroes. Maybe not the Lucio so much, but when I see an anti-Roadhog, I'm focusing so much because he can't self-heal, he can't get heals, and that's my job, is to be that big tank buster. So the anti-grenade, I'm gonna take full advantage of that. And the final note that I want to point out when playing Ana with Ashe is gonna be Nano Boosting Bob, because that might be news to you, but you can actually Nano Boost Bob, and he'll get obviously more damage, and he'll have more sustainability because he won't be taking as much damage. Now, while I'm not saying you can do that for every single team fight, it's an option. He's your 7th man, and you're able to Nano Boost him. Now, obviously, if Genji has his blade, you're probably gonna want to Nano Boost the Genji rather than just this AI Bob, because you can't control Bob. But if you want to take over the second point on Volskaya or Hanamura, and you want Bob to have sustainability, but you want him to charge onto the point while still getting a few kills and live, it's an idea. You can do that. You can Nano Boost Bob, so that's why I really like Ana. Next, we gotta talk about the tanks that mesh well with Ashe. Now, this definitely depends on the DPS, especially when it comes to the ultimates, when determining like the meshingness of the heroes. Like, yeah, we're gonna work together as a team. That was so stupid, but I was kind of going back and forth when it came to the tanks because, again, Ashe isn't really this needy hero when it comes to tanks, and especially when it comes to ultimate combinations. It's not like there's an obvious like a Genji blade and a Zarya ultimate because you have Bob. Bob is an ultimate all on its own that won't benefit from a lot of them except from Earthshatter. So that's why I say Reinhardt is a great tank to use, not only for Bob and the combination of the ults, but also just for protecting Ashe. So when it comes to Reinhardt, obviously you get the moving protection, you get this 2000 HP barrier for when Ashe decides to move away from the backline and push up with the team. But what I really wanted to focus on was the ultimate combination. And while it's not an obvious one, it's more or less like a 1-2 step ultimate. You send Bob in, and this will do one of two things. If they have a Reinhardt, it'll make him turn around so he can protect himself from the Bob that's behind him, or he just won't turn around and he'll get shot by Bob. Or if they don't have a Reinhardt at all, you can send Bob in, Reinhardt can Earthshatter everyone else, and Bob has easy access to all these kills that's just laying on the floor. But the final tank that you can also have on your team is going to be Zarya. Now, again, both of these tanks aren't really there to bring up Ashe to the next level. They can support her, but they're not desperately needed. But especially when it comes to Zarya, there's aspects about her that Ashe can really be benefited with. First of all, the protection from the bubble. Squishies like Tracer or a Genji or even a Doomfist or whatnot is going to be focusing the Ashe because she's not the most mobile. She's still very mobile, but she can still be left vulnerable, especially if she's in the back line. But when you have that bubble on her, first of all, you're also going to be getting charged with Zarya, but you're going to be providing protection for the Ashe. Along with that, if you send Bob into a fight, you can also bubble Bob, and a lot of people are going to be focusing Bob because he's this big Omnic that's just standing there, so why wouldn't they want to, oh, well, we shouldn't shoot it because there's a bubble. But we all know how Overwatch players are. They love to shoot the bubble, so that means free charge for you and also protection for Bob. But finally, let's talk about the DPS. Now, I went with a 2-2-2 team comp because that's what everyone is used to, but you can easily run like 3 tanks, but really, again, focus on the topic of the video, the perfect Ashe team comp. Everything is revolved around Ashe, not the second DPS, not the healers, everything about Ashe. So yes, I know GOATS is popular, and you probably even shouldn't be running Ashe to begin with. You should still probably be running GOATS, but someone's going to be picking Ashe. That means someone also is probably going to be picking a secondary DPS. Probably, maybe you, hopefully you. So what DPS should that be? I went with Doomfist. I figured that you have long-range engagements already covered when it comes to Ashe, and maybe even close-range engagements. But Doomfist is so meta right now, and he can just destroy a lot of the enemy team. But on top of that, with his uppercut ability, you're going to be sending enemies high in the sky, which means it's an open target for Ashe to shoot. Again, this might just be all on paper and execution. It might be the worst composition of all time, but at least the way that Doomfist is played, I feel like they can benefit each other a little bit, not the most, but most of the time, DPS heroes don't benefit each other altogether. If that was the case, we'd all be playing DPS heroes. Which we pretty much are because this is competitive Overwatch, let's be honest. If Doomfist isn't sending people high in the sky or off to the side, they're going to at least be distracted with the Doomfist, which means it's open range for you, literally open range for you as Ashe. And as long as you're good at shooting your shot with Ashe, there's no reason why you shouldn't at least be able to get the tanks, but on top of that, the squishies that he's also focusing. And I feel like that's the thing you need to think about is the balance. Like, okay, what is Ashe going to be doing? Well, shredding through tanks and maybe getting these squishies at long range, maybe getting getting the enemy Ashe, maybe getting the Lucio, but when Doomfist is on the field, he can take care of the Ashe. He can take care of the Lucio, the Mercy, whatever the case may be. And that, my friends, is the quote-unquote perfect Ashe team composition. Just keep in mind, this is all about Ashe. This isn't about what's meta right now. If that was the case, we'd be talking about GOATs, but we've already talked about that. What I really wanted to focus on is Ashe and what you can do as a player if no one else is helping out the Ashe. If there is something like a Moira and maybe a Winston, just heroes that aren't necessarily going to help Ashe, maybe you can switch to Zenyatta, help her out a little bit. Maybe you can switch to, say, Reinhardt or Orisa to give her protection. Just think about that. Think about players not being as good as Ashe when compared to McCree or Genji, and you want to support them. Be that supportive teammate. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully this can help you out in your competitive matches, because it can be frustrating with a new hero and no one knows how to play with it, but what are you going to do to help out the situation? But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Sorry if it sounds like I'm going through puberty. That's because I pretty much am. No, I'm not going through puberty. I'm just still getting over my sickness, and by me not resting my voice and also playing a lot competitive and yelling, it's not really helping the situation. But no, guys, I love you. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.